Hi, this is Debbie from Westgate, and we are going to look today at when we use the word during and when to use the word while. These two terms do get a little confusing because they essentially do the same thing. We use them when we're both trying to show that two things happened at the same time. So we'll go over some examples of how they are used, and then I'm going to show you a third way that you may want to use instead of during and while. But let's look at during first, okay? Here's an example sentence. During the school year, Mark studies 3 hours a day. Now, we're using during here to show that for a particular time period, which is the school year, our subject, Mark, does something for that whole time period. So if the school year is from September to December, Mark is probably studying 3 hours a day during those months. That's the assumption here. So here are some other examples. During summer vacation, I like to swim. As a person reading this, I think that all during or all throughout summer vacation, my subject, I, like to swim. So it doesn't matter if it's June, July, or August, summer break, that's when I like to swim. Next sentence, my dog takes long naps, and this time we put during at the end, during the day. So I again assume that anytime it's day, my dog is taking a long nap. This one's a little more specific because our time period is really short. During the test, well, a test is usually only a half an hour to a few hours. So during that time period, I got very tired. So that's how we're going to use during. If we look at the word while, and here's a pretty basic example of a sentence, Mark listens to music while studying. Again, two things are happening at the same time. He's listening to music and he's studying. This one gets confusing because you can see that we've got two verbs, listens and studying, and they don't seem to be in the same verb form. And that's because when we insert the word while, we always put the gerund or the ing form afterwards, and that'll confuse a lot of people who've been taught to keep your verb forms parallel. So that is going to change your verb format. It's always while verbing, while verbing. So let's look at some examples here. We'll start with the same subject and verb in the beginning. She sings, okay? So let's see what she does while she sings. She sings while showering. And that tells me that when she's in the shower, she is singing. And those things occur again at the same time. She sings while walking, she sings while dancing. So the assumption is whenever she does these activities, she sings while doing them. So just the key, if you're going to use while, is to do while verbing, okay? Now, in reality, while especially is really formal. We don't even use it that often. We'll find it in reading, but in conversation, we usually replace while with when. And a lot of times we'll even replace the word during with when. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this original sentence and show you how we actually would say it more often. During the school year, Mark studies 3 hours a day. That would be normal in conversation. That doesn't sound too formal to me, but many times we would just say this. When he's in school, Mark studies 3 hours a day. Or Mark studies 3 hours a day when he's in school. Okay? And then definitely you won't hear many young people use the word while anymore. It'll be in more formal writing, but not in conversation that often. So if we look at, oops, I didn't put the original sentence there. I think I did it backwards. If we look at the original sentence is Mark listens to music while studying, okay? This would be the corrected version. Mark listens to music when he studies. Or we could say when he studies, Mark listens to music. So here was the original here. Mark listens to music while studying. And then this is our next corrected one here. Okay. And then when he studies, Mark listens to music, or we could say Mark listens to music when he studies. Okay, so we've got that fixed now. Okay, let's just put that in green so it matches up, because I'm going to make a copy of this sheet available for you as well. Okay, I'll fix that before I put it on the website. Okay, so now I'm going to see if there are some examples that you can try. So I'll do the first one with you, and then the other ones we'll look at later. Let's rewrite a during sentence. During her childhood, Amy wore braces. We could say that for sure, but we would also very likely just say, when Amy was a child, she wore braces, or she wore braces when she was a child. Okay? So here are some sentences that you can work on yourself. And again, there's going to be a downloadable version of this at westgatecolorado.org so that you can have a copy of these sentences and try them yourself. And then you're welcome to email me this, and I will gladly correct it for you. So go ahead and go to www.westgatecolorado.org. I'll put a link on the Facebook page, and you can print out these sentences and practice them yourself. All right, thanks, and we'll see you next time.